How have Chinese brands been able to make these inroads? Did they get this window of opportunity when suddenly 4G became available as well?
Yeah, there's the higher uptake of 4G services. Plus, they've also got the advantage of getting their training wheels, so to speak, in the home market of China. They've managed to get hold of high-quality components. We're talking high-definition screens, fast processors. They've got a big market back at home in China, and what they've done, a lot of them done have targeted India for expansion, so that they're able to bring these smartphones onto the market, selling into a market where most carriers don't subsidise your handsets like you would in the US or Australia or the UK. Got to buy it outright. So therefore, price is a critical factor here. So these guys are packing the specs into these phones, selling them for under $200 and dominating the market.
But this is just it, isn't it? Has there been any fight back here from these Indian vendors?
They are. The Indian vendors, you've got Micromax as one of the big ones.
Regular on this program, actually, yeah.
Was challenging Samsung for top spot not long ago. They've got the challenge here that they've got to fight back.
When you say vendor, though, I mean, they actually make phones as well as
they make phones as well.
Yeah.
Now, some of the smartphone companies, it's really rebadging someone else's, but in Micromaxes, they actually put them together. But what the challenge they've got is that they're relying on the Indian market, whereas the Chinese vendors have their home market as well, where they've been able to build up technical expertise and sales and revenue and profitability to then attack India, and that gives the Indian vendors a bit of a challenge to fight back with.
Well, Robert, I mean, I'm just reading actually, what's been going on in India and what, the press is saying. They're saying India versus China on the 4G battleground, talking about this Make in India drive, making Chinese companies dump phones here. So, accusations of dumping coming up.
Well, that's sort of a finger pointing that happens very much in all sorts of industries when you've got a strong home market and you push into export markets just like the Chinese are doing. Whether that's true or not is not for me to say, but what I can tell you is that Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, they have strong Chinese markets, strong sales there already, and they can afford to subsidise selling phones at a low price in India to build their market share.
Robert, before we started the interview with you, we were, of course, listening to that Reliance story, and, of course, Jio, that free voice calls for life proposition, and then Apple we talked about here. Now, what's the read-through for Apple for all this?
Well, Apple doesn't have a big say in the Indian market overall. You're talking, I think the latest numbers from Counterpoint we got last night were about 10th in the market. But where it does dominate in premium, it's got 62% of the over $450 handset market. And with Apple trying to make in India and trying to create a retail chain in India in the future, what it is now hoping is it can build on that and somehow move up the rankings. But it's going to have to be able to produce locally and avoid those punitive taxes to be able to do that.